Welcome to Nightline. I'm Brandon Wong. News making the headlines. 16 components for electoral reform to be presented to government. And Joe Low agrees to sale of seized mansion in Los Angeles. Good morning. The Electoral Reform Committee, ERC, has identified 16 components for electoral reform and will present its recommendations to the government next year. Its chairman, Tan Sri Abdul Rashid Abdul Rahman, said some of the recommendations proposed by the ERC include forming a system to ensure that each person votes in his or her place of residence, introducing automatic registration and declaring public or state funding of political parties. On political funding, Tan Sri Abdul Rashid said the ERC was currently reviewing a report prepared during former minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Paul Lau's tenure.
Dalam ni menentukan bahawa semua orang nak kena own up. Dia tak boleh sembunyi-sembunyi menyuruh bagi derma, tak boleh. Semua orang nak kena bagi derma secara terbuka.
Tan Sri Abdul Rashid said this in a press conference after a roundtable discussion with the media on electoral reforms in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday. He added the committee would continue holding dialogues with political parties, non-governmental organizations and the public to prepare an interim report and would be ready year-end. The ERC was set up by the Pakatan Harapan government to review Malaysia's election system and laws. The committee has 2 years from August 2018 to complete their task and prepare the recommendations for the government. Tan Sri Abdul Rashid said the committee is also looking into proposals for a caretaker government before general elections.
Now this is a very interesting topic, very hot topic. Now there should not, whether there should be a continuation of the existing government when there is dissolution, or a new group will have to take over during that small period before election is over.
Tan Sri Abdul Rashid, who was formerly EC chairman from 2000 to 2008, said more discussions were needed on this and the situation in other countries needs to be studied. The Sultan of Johor has expressed regret over news reports suggesting that ownership of a plot of land involved in the construction of the Rapid Transit System, RTS, to link Johor Bahru and Singapore has been transferred to him. Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar said he has never been informed of any change of title for the 4.5-hectare plot, one of 5 plots which were part of a land swap deal between the state and federal government. In a statement on Saturday, his private secretary, Datuk Jabat Muhammad Noor, said that the ruler had expressed his disappointment with the report claiming that the rise in cost for the RTS project was due to the plot of land owned by him. If it's true, Sultan Ibrahim is willing to hand over the land to the government at no cost, on condition that the RTS project be continued quickly. Datuk Jabat also stressed that the interest of the people and government were always the priority of the Johor Sultan, and every issue must be discussed consensually. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad on Friday said the federal government would demand back its land in Bukit Chaga if it was true that its ownership had been given to the Sultan of Johor without going through the proper process. The RTS project, signed in 2018, was scheduled for construction this year and expected to be completed by December 2024. It covers 4 kilometers between Bukit Chaga, Johor Bahru and Woodlands, Singapore, with the capacity to ferry 10,000 passengers an hour. The project will run above ground in Johor and on a 25-meter high bridge across the straits before going underground to Woodlands North. The Defence Ministry said it has achieved commendable successes within a year after the Pakatan Harapan PH government took power. Its Minister Muhammad Sabu said, although challenging, the ministry has managed to, among others, enhance the governance of several agencies in its stable. Muhammad, or better known as Mat Sabu, said the issue of governance under the ministry was among the first few areas that were looked into by the new administration. This was evident by the setting up of a special committee chaired by Tan Sri Amrin Buang, tasked with investigating the issues of governance, procurement and finance in ministries and agencies.
Selepas 6 bulan, siasatannya telah siap, iaitu hal land swap baru, bukan semua, dan telah pun dibincang di peringkat kabinet dan juga jawatan kuasa yang dipengurusi oleh Tan Sri Abu Kasim, Kabinet telah bersetuju supaya laporan itu diedar kepada orang ramai tidak lama lagi.
Matsabu revealed that the government had suffered losses amounting to 500 million ringgit for a land swap deal involving a land owned by the ministry which started in 1997. The losses and financial leakages involved 16 projects comprising over 1,000 hectares of government-owned land valued at 4.7 billion ringgit, on top of the project's total cost of 4.8 billion ringgit. There should be a database on women's security in the country and the region to address this issue more effectively. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said the database could be created with the input of researchers and through networking with civil societies and individuals to enhance awareness on this matter. In her keynote address at the International Conference on Women's Security and Global Challenges in Bangi, Selangor on Saturday, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah pointed out that in Malaysia, the Pakatan Harapan government's goals are very clear on assuring women peace and security and gender equality.
I hope there will be some tangible outcomes from this conference, such as the formation of a secretariat, as you said, to coordinate networking and participation from the civil societies and individuals in order to enhance the awareness of the importance of issues of security for women. I also hope there will be more efforts on indigenous research and dissemination of research findings on women's security. The country and the region also need more database so that focused and specific issues can be addressed properly.
Touching on women and challenges in this modern world, she said women have generally been marginalized from the male centers of Islamic interpretation, including both scripture and law and leadership roles in public worship. She opined that women of today are forging ahead in an era where their active involvement in family, society and nation also exposes them to various security issues, risks and challenges. Gombak Member of Parliament Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali wants the repair works on cracks at Block F of Taman Keramat Permai apartment to be accelerated before the Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration. He stressed that the parties involved must ensure that the residents' safety and quality of repair works will not be affected. Datuk Sri Azmin, who is also the Economics Affairs Minister, said the repair work on the cracks has already started. Last Friday, more than 200 Block F occupants were ordered to move out of the building when cracks found in the structure of the apartment were reported to be worsening. They were allowed to return to their homes on Saturday as the building was confirmed safe for occupation by 2 consultants appointed by the PKNS. The majority of residents also welcomed the government's suggestion on the redevelopment of housing, especially flats which are more than 30 years old. Fugitive businessman Lau Tek Jo, or popularly known as Jo Lau, has agreed to sell his 161 million ringgit mansion in Los Angeles. The mansion was believed to have been acquired using misappropriated 1MDB funds and is subject to forfeiture by the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ. The property was seized by the DOJ in 2017, together with several assets said to have been bought with stolen 1MDB funds. The empty mansion above the trendy Sunset Strip is falling into further disrepair by the day and is costing $690,000 a year in taxes, insurance and maintenance. In a filing with the U.S. State District Court last night, Lau's representative and U.S. prosecutors agreed to the sale of the mansion. Lau's spokesman said in a statement his client was aware of the proposed sale to preserve the property's value while ensuring the owner's claims are protected and may proceed in a timely fashion. The fugitive businessman also looks forward to the continued amicable resolution of these claims. Lau has been charged in Malaysia and the United States for his central role in the alleged theft of $4.5 billion from 1MDB. The United States this month will return to Malaysia $200 million recovered as part of the seizure of 1MDB-linked assets. 6 people, including a toddler and a baby, were killed in a 2-vehicle collision in Rao Pahang on Saturday. 3 others were also seriously injured in the accident at the Jalan Kuala Lumpur Kota Baru near Sungai Ruan intersection. According to District Police Chief Superintendent Wan Muhammad Sahari Wan Busu, it is believed that the 2:45 a.m. accident occurred when the Kancil, en route from Kota Baru to Kuala Lumpur, suddenly veered into the opposite lane and collided head-on with the Myvi. The deceased in the accident were identified as Perudua Kancil driver Nasrul Fakri Mansur, aged 38, his wife Hartini Mokhtar, 37, and their 2 children, Nur Fakia, aged 4, and Nur Fatin Sufi, aged 1. 2 passengers of a Perudua Myvi, Muhammad Kalish Kautsa Muhammad Shahril, aged 2, and Hasliza Arini Muhammad, aged 34, were also killed. Perudua Myvi driver Muhammad Shahril Sulaiman and his daughters Kalisa Khairina and Dia Afrina were seriously injured. The remains of the 6 deceased victims were sent to the Raub hospital for post-mortems, while the injured, who had to be extricated from their badly damaged vehicle, were rushed to the Lipis hospital. The case is being investigated under Section 41, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987. In Kuala Lumpur, a 26-year-old man has been arrested over an incident where a group of men caused damage at an entertainment outlet in Jalan Klang Lama in Kuala Lumpur last Thursday. It is learnt that a group of men armed with sticks went to a club at about 9:20 p.m. and damaged equipment and furniture. However, no one was harmed during the attack. Brickfield's OCPD, ACP Ruslan Khalid, said they are tracking down other witnesses to assist investigations. Over in Pulau Pinang, a woman allegedly went missing after being suspected of abusing her 3 children, one of them disabled. The trio had sought help from their grandmother, who then lodged a police report and forced the mother to take the children to hospital for treatment. However, the women went missing soon after the children were hospitalized. When we come back, Nightline's esports segment with Wan Izul Islam. Stay tuned. It's time for our esports segment, bringing you the latest esports news in Malaysia. Esports fans around the country rejoiced when Malaysian team Rampage Gaming were recently crowned the Call of Duty COD Asian champions. The team is now currently in London, the United Kingdom, competing against the world's best teams for a chance to appear at the COD World Championships for the first time. Wan Izul Islam managed to meet up with the team captain before their trip to find out more.
Alright guys, welcome to My Game On, and for this week's segment we have a very special guest in-house today. We have that of Ranger, also known as Abdul Hakim Tajuddin from Rampage Gaming, to tell us a little bit more about his team and their efforts to become the best Call of Duty team in Malaysia. Let's find out more. Alright, so before we start, let's get some introductions out of the way. Ranger, please do introduce yourself as well as your team, Rampage Gaming.
Okay, so my name is Abdul Hakim Tajuddin. I'm also known as Ranger for my IGN. I am the captain of Rampage Gaming, a Malaysian Call of Duty team. So, what is Rampage Gaming? We are a professional Call of Duty team that was formed back in 2014. We were a bunch of casual gamers that wanted to pursue career in esports. Our first professional debut was in 2016, which is when we participated in the COD Asia Championship in Taiwan, and we placed second in the event. That was first ever professional debut. And my team right now consists of 2 amazing Singaporean players, which are Izul Amin, Sean Wong, and I have 2 more teammates that are from Malaysia, which is Daniel Ali Renis and also Arjun Kira.
Alright, so Ranger, you guys have been very successful recently. Tell us a little bit about your recent achievement in Hong Kong, the Asian Championships for Call of Duty.
Okay, so for the past achievement that Rampage Gaming achieved was the Asia Championship in Hong Kong. We managed to place first in the event, become the champion. We also got 12,000 USD, And best part is we managed to beat our nemesis, which is Love Potion, which the community keep telling us a threat to Rampage Gaming this year.
Definitely an amazing achievement in Hong Kong for you guys at the Asian Championships for Call of Duty. I watched that game live and it was a nail-biter of a match. You guys definitely deserve the win. Well done. So now, what is up next for Rampage Gaming? What are the upcoming tournaments that you guys are prepping for in the future?
Okay, so what's next for Rampage Gaming is actually CWL London. We are going to compete against world's best team. There are 128 teams in the event, 75,000 prize pool, and some valuable points for us to qualify in the World Championship in August.
Okay, so Ranger, you mentioned a little bit about the Call of Duty World Championships happening in August. Tell us a little bit about that tournament and what it means for you guys, Rampage Gaming, to be at that tournament.
So Call of Duty World Championship has been a dream for any Call of Duty players out there, and I want to make a history because if we make it out there to World Championship, we will be the first Malaysian team that ever qualified to the event, home ground soil. So for us to qualify, we need to place better in all the open events that we are attending, such as CWL London and also the Anaheim. So we are aiming for it. That's been my goal since I started playing professionally in this game. So I wanted to make sure that I'm the first Malaysian player, and also Rampage will be the first organization for Malaysia that will qualify to the World Championship.
And there we have it, the hopes, the aspirations, as well as the dreams of Team Rampage Gaming to become the first Malaysian team to represent our country at the World Championships for Call of Duty in August. Now, any last words from our captain, Ranger?
I want to thank to all my supporters out there, Red Race fans. I want to thank to my family that's always been supporting me, and also not to forget XCG Sport that's always been behind our back, supporting us financially and also in other aspects. And also, you want your energy, please send your prayers, everything to us, as we will be striving our best this year to make sure that we qualify to the World Championship.
After the breather, nearly 30 killed as Cyclone Fani barrels into Bangladesh. Details next. On to foreign news. The death toll from Cyclone Fani, the strongest storm to hit the Indian subcontinent in 5 years, has risen to nearly 30 people as the storm barreled into Bangladesh on Saturday after leaving a trail of deadly destruction across the eastern coast. According to officials, at least 16 people died in India, mostly in the worst hit state of Odisha, while at least 12 are killed and scores of others wounded in neighbouring Bangladesh. The dead included a miner in Barguna district on the coast and 5 others killed by lightning in the northern district of Kishoreganj. The Bangladesh Meteorological Department said the severe cyclone storm was located over Satkhira, Jasho and Kukna region and adjoining areas as at 6 a.m. local time. About 1.2 million people living in the most vulnerable districts in Bangladesh have been moved to 4,000 shelters. The storm is likely to continue further in the northeast direction with the wind speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour. In Thailand, King Maha Vajiralongkorn formally ascended the throne as the 10th monarch of the Chakri dynasty on Saturday. The new king promised the people that he will reign with righteousness as his father Bhumibol Adulyadej did as his first royal command. Inheriting the throne after his father's passing in 2016, Maha Vajiralongkorn became the oldest Thai monarch to be crowned as king. Earlier, he participated in a purification ritual by anointing himself with water from all across the country, marking the beginning of his 3-day coronation ceremony. The 66-year-old was then handed the royal regalia, which included the Great Crown of Victory, as well as the weapons of sovereignty. His wife, Queen Suthida, was also present during the ceremony. The coronation takes place during a time of political uncertainty as the general election was held on March the 24th, the first since the army took control in a coup in 2014. But a new government has yet to be declared. Don't go away. Now on to sports. The Super League. 4 matches were played on Saturday night. Petaling Jaya City FC beat Pahang 2-0. PKNP recorded a 2-all draw over Terengganu. Selangor played out a 1-all draw with Malacca United, while Johor Darul Ta'zim recorded a 2-0 win over Felda United. In Jengka, it was Diogo Luis Santos who opened the scoring on the 38th minute from the spot to give JDT the 1-0 lead. Diogo then completed his brace on the 62nd minute, sealing a 2-0 win for the Southern Tigers. Following the win, JDT remains unbeaten at the top of the table with 30 points, while Felda remains second bottom with 2 points after 12 matches. And on to badminton, the 2019 New Zealand Open. National top mixed doubles pair Chan Peng-sun, Goh Liu Ying are on the brink of winning their second World Tour title of the season after they made it into the final on Saturday. The world number 5 beat Indonesia's Hafiz Faisal, Gloria Emanuel with Jaja 21-14, 21 in the semi-finals, averaging their earlier defeat to the same rivals in the quarter-finals of the Singapore Open 3 weeks ago. Peng-sun Liu Ying will meet another Indonesian pair, Pravin Jordan, Melati Deva Oktavianti, in their career's 6th World Tour final on Sunday. The pair are hoping to claim their second victory this year after winning the Thailand Masters in January. That sports item wraps up Nightline this time around. Before we leave, take a look at this unique street art exhibition in conjunction with the first edition of the Fresh Paint Festival in Lyon, France. With that, I'm Brandon Wong. Thank you for your company.